They say cats show up when they feel safe, but what if they show up because you are? Maybe it's just coincidence. A stray wanders to your porch, curls up without a sound, and stays. No scratching, no fear, just quiet, steady presence. You might smile, maybe give it a bowl of water and forget about it. But then it comes back, again and again, and somehow, without knowing why, you start to feel like you've been marked for something. This video isn't about superstition. It's about patterns, small, often overlooked patterns that carry energy, especially when it comes to cats. For thousands of years, across cultures and belief systems, cats have symbolized something beyond their quiet steps. Intuition, transition, the ability to sense what we can't always name. They don't just live in our homes, they choose us. And when they do, they sometimes carry messages in the way they look, act, or simply appear. We're going to talk about 9 specific signs. Behaviors cats show when something in your energy, your home, or your path is shifting. This isn't about good luck charms or chasing omens. It's about noticing when your environment starts reflecting back a change that's already happening inside of you. Because sometimes, before opportunity knocks, it purrs. It leaves something at your door. It curls beside your laptop while you're thinking about quitting. It stares at you while you're wrestling with a decision. And if you pay attention, it might just point to something bigger. A new chapter, a chance, a turning point where wealth, yes, real, grounded, material abundance, is already walking toward you, softly, quietly, through pause. Let's begin with the first sign. The one most people ignore until it's too obvious to miss. Sign 1, it comes and doesn't leave. You didn't call it. You didn't leave food out. You didn't even notice it at first. But there it is day after day. A cat, not yours, not from the neighborhood as far as you know. It just started showing up. At first it kept its distance, sitting a few feet from your porch or stretching out under a car. Then one morning it's curled against your steps. The next it's asleep on your welcome mat. No meowing, no drama, no signs of fear. It's not begging, it's not lost. It's just there, consistently, quietly, like it belongs, and that's the part that catches you. You start to wonder, why this house? Why now? What does it want? Cats are not aimless wanderers. They may seem aloof, but they're deeply sensitive to their surroundings. They gravitate toward environments that feel safe, stable, energetically clear. And when a stray cat not only visits, but stays, without being coaxed or fed, it's not acting on hunger. It's responding to energy, your home's, and it's telling you without words that something in your life has shifted. You may not see it yet. You may still feel like you're stuck or waiting or uncertain. But this animal, whose instincts are sharper than most, has already sensed something blooming beneath the surface. A clarity, a warmth, a readiness. In many traditions, cats are seen as guardians of thresholds. They appear when something is about to begin or end. So when a cat chooses to remain by your side, it's often a reflection of your environment becoming a place of attraction. Not in the spiritual sense of casting spells or manifesting dreams overnight, but in the quiet, grounded sense that your space is now safe enough for opportunity to approach. That your energy no longer pushes abundance away. That you're finally in a place, emotionally, mentally, energetically, where what you've been working toward can land. And sometimes before that landing happens, before the contract, the offer, the right place, right time moment arrives, a cat shows up first. As if to scout the path, as if to test if your door is open. You might still dismiss it. Maybe you think you're being sentimental. Maybe you're just a soft heart who can't say no to fur and whiskers. But take a breath, step back, look at the timing. Look at what's happening or changing in your life right now. Has your home felt calmer lately? Have your worries eased, even if your circumstances haven't changed on paper? Have you found yourself saying no to things that used to drain you? Or yes to things you used to fear? That shift, small as it seems, is the signal, and the cat's arrival is the confirmation. There's a reason so many people across cultures and centuries speak of cats as messengers, not because they're magical, but because they respond to the things we often overlook. Subtle shifts in presence, emotional currents in a room. The difference between a house that's busy and one that's finally still enough to receive. That cat at your door isn't there by mistake. It's not a stray, it's a mirror. It's showing you what's already changing, even if you haven't caught up yet. So if this is happening to you, if a cat has come and chosen to stay, don't rush to label it or explain it away. You don't have to adopt it or even touch it. Just notice it. Let it be. And quietly ask yourself, what might be arriving just behind it? Sign 2, it brings you something strange. You open the door and there it is again, that cat. But this time it hasn't come empty. At your doorstep, maybe on the doormat or tucked beneath a flower pot, there's something small, unexpected, and not exactly pleasant. A bird, a mouse, a beetle, a feather, maybe even something you can't quite recognize. At first, your instinct is disgust, maybe frustration. You think, why here, why me? I didn't ask for this. But pause, because this isn't random. Cats are not messy creatures. They don't drag things home just to create chaos. When they bring something to you, especially something that once lived or carries scent and weight, it's not just a reflex, it's a message, a gesture, a transfer. In the natural world, bringing prey to a familiar place is an act of trust, of loyalty. It's how cats show recognition, an acknowledgement that your space is part of their world now. But beneath the biology, there's a pattern more symbolic, more energetic. You see, in many cultures and intuitive traditions, anything brought across a threshold holds meaning. It represents what is being introduced into your space, sometimes physically, sometimes emotionally. And when it comes through a cat, it often marks a shift in what you're ready to receive. That feather on your porch, that torn leaf or broken winged insect, it's not beautiful, but it's powerful. It's a sign that something has been closed, finished, or removed. That what needed to be offered on your behalf has been offered. This may sound far-fetched, but think about it. Have you ever had something come back to you just after one of these moments, an unexpected payment, a refund you forgot, a message from someone you hadn't spoken to in years? These aren't coincidences. They are echoes. You might not connect the dots at first, but the pattern is there. And the cat, whether it knows it or not, is part of that process. The act of bringing something into your space, especially something unusual or unsettling, mirrors a deeper truth. Sometimes before abundance flows in, something old has to be removed, something that doesn't serve you anymore. And when we don't know how to let go of it ourselves, our attachments, our doubts, our scarcity mindset, the universe has ways of nudging that process along. One of them, a cat, carrying the energy of change in its mouth, placing it gently on the edge of your life, and then looking at you as if to say, now what will you do with this? This isn't a call to romanticize death or decay. It's a moment to reflect on how endings often disguise themselves as messes, as discomfort. But if you react with anger, disgust, or fear, you miss the invitation. Because hidden in that act, yes, even in the dead mouse, is a clearing, a preparation, a symbolic cleanup that allows space for what's next. And here's the quiet truth no one talks about. Many people receive signs of change before their lives actually change. They see things that don't make sense. They're given gifts that don't look like gifts. But if they take a breath, if they choose to see not just the thing, but the timing, they begin to understand. The universe rarely shouts, more often it nudges, it leaves clues, and sometimes it uses a cat with a messy mouth and good instincts. So the next time this happens, if it happens, don't panic. Don't rush to clean it up in anger. Acknowledge it. Maybe say thank you quietly, even if you don't fully understand what for. Because that strange offering at your door, it might be the reason something new is already finding its way to you. Something cleaner, something bigger, something lighter. But first, this little sacrifice, this strange, quiet gift wrapped in fur and timing. Sign 3, it stares without blinking. There's something about a cat's stare that's unlike anything else. It doesn't flinch, it doesn't blink, it doesn't look away just to be polite. One moment you're sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone, pouring a cup of tea, or thinking through the next thing you have to do. Then you feel it, that unmistakable sensation of being watched. You turn and there it is, the cat, still, focused, looking straight at you, not in fear, not in hunger, just seeing you. And the longer it holds your gaze, the more unsettled you feel, not because it's threatening, but because something about that look goes deeper than you expect. It's as if, for a moment, you are no longer invisible, not even to yourself. People often think cats are distant or indifferent, but that's only because they don't waste energy pretending. When a cat stares, it's not being rude, it's tuning in. And when it stares without blinking, with full attention and eerie stillness, it's doing something very few living beings do anymore. It's reading your energy. Not your mood, not your facial expression, but your energy. The quiet language that speaks beneath your words. The subtle vibration that changes when you're on the edge of something, when you're about to make a decision, step into a role, close a door, or open one you've been afraid to touch. Cats notice those shifts before we do. And sometimes they come to bear witness. That stare might come during an ordinary moment, after a phone call, during your morning coffee, as you sit with your thoughts late at night. But the timing matters. It usually happens when something inside you is stirring, even if you can't name it yet. Maybe you've just had enough. Maybe you're ready for more. Maybe you're quietly telling yourself, I can't keep living like this. You haven't said it out loud, but something in you has already moved. And that cat, sitting across the room, hasn't missed a thing. In some cultures, a direct, unblinking stare is considered a spiritual test, a recognition, an energetic confirmation that you are stepping into something new, even if you don't fully believe it yet. The cat isn't challenging you, it's holding space, holding silence, waiting to see if you'll rise to the version of yourself that's already beginning to form. This is not about magic or myth, it's about awareness. Most of us go through life in a kind of soft focus, moving from task to task, avoiding discomfort, brushing aside the moments that feel a little too intimate. But when a cat stares at you like that and you feel it land somewhere deep in your chest, it's almost impossible to ignore. For a second, the noise fades, the room sharpens, and you realize there's something in you that's ready to be seen, not by the world, not even by the people around you, but by you. The stare isn't just a signal that something is changing. It's an invitation to stop pretending it isn't. Maybe you've been doubting your next move. Maybe you've been playing small, staying quiet, convincing yourself that now isn't the time. But that look says otherwise. That look says the door is already opening. The shift is already in motion. And the question isn't whether something will change, but whether you'll show up when it does. What happens after the stare is up to you. You can brush it off, laugh at yourself for being weird about a cat, and move on. Or you can pause, take a breath, and consider what part of you felt seen in that moment. What thought was lingering right before it happened? What decision was circling your mind? That stare doesn't come for nothing. It doesn't happen every day. And when it does, it's often a sign that something inside you is no longer willing to wait. So if a cat stares at you and doesn't look away, don't look away either. Stay in it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you feel vulnerable or unsure. Because in that quiet, unblinking connection, something rare is happening. You are being reminded. Not by words, not by advice, but by presence. You are ready, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Sign 4, it scratches or brushes you suddenly. It happens quickly, so quickly you might miss the meaning behind it. You're walking through the house, lost in your own thoughts, maybe carrying laundry or checking your phone. And suddenly the cat swipes at your ankle. Not hard, not enough to draw blood, just enough to stop you. Or it rushes past you, brushing your leg or hip with a force that feels deliberate, unexpected. You freeze, your body tenses. You say out loud, "What was that for?" But there's no answer, just the cat already walking away, as if it delivered a message and doesn't need to explain itself. For many people, this moment gets dismissed as playfulness or attitude. Cats, after all, are known for their moods, but if you've spent any real time around animals, especially cats, you know they don't move without intention. They don't spend their energy for no reason. So when they reach out and touch you suddenly, especially when it feels more like interruption than affection, it's worth asking what they might be responding to, not in the room, but in you. Energy isn't always loud. Sometimes it creeps in under the surface, stress you haven't acknowledged, a bad decision you're about to make, a situation you're pretending is fine even though your gut is already uneasy. Animals, particularly cats, sense those invisible shifts. They detect what we try to hide from ourselves. And when the energy around you becomes unstable, when something off begins to attach itself to your path. A cat may intervene the only way it can, with movement. That sudden brush or scratch, think of it like a tap on the shoulder when you're about to walk into traffic. A non-verbal warning that something needs your attention now. And it's not always something external. Often it's internal. Maybe you've been overextending yourself. Maybe you're keeping company with someone who drains you. Maybe you're rushing toward a decision that deep down you know doesn't align. That little swipe, that chill that follows, is the cat's way of grounding you, snapping you out of autopilot, asking you to look again. Slow down, check the fine print, re-listen to your instincts. Across spiritual and intuitive traditions, animals are seen as protectors, not of your physical space, but of your energetic field. When a cat chooses to act on your behalf, it's not being aggressive. It's stepping into the role of interrupter, redirecting your movement before a misstep becomes a mistake. And the most important thing is not to ignore how it makes you feel. Because that strange, lingering sense after a brush or scratch, that chill up your spine, the feeling that something isn't quite right, isn't paranoia, it's awareness catching up to truth. We live in a world that praises momentum. Keep going, push through, stay productive. But sometimes the wisest thing you can do is stop, rethink, walk around the block instead of through the door. And if it takes a paw at your heel to remind you of that, so be it. Because that moment might be the one that saves you from a lost wallet, a flat tire, a bad contract, a strained relationship, or a piece of news you weren't ready for. So the next time your cat scratches or rushes past you without reason, don't brush it off. Don't get angry. Pause, listen. Ask yourself what you were thinking, feeling, or planning in the seconds before it happened. You might find the warning wasn't about the cat at all, but about something coming toward you that you didn't yet see. And if you feel uncertain, unsettled, or simply need a moment of clarity, there's a small practice you can try. Stand still. Place your hand over your chest, take a breath, and ask silently, what am I being protected from? The answer may not come right away, but the pause will speak louder than you expect. Sign 5. It sleeps next to your work. It starts innocently. You're deep in your work, laptop open, papers spread out, coffee cooling beside you. Maybe you're answering emails, organizing bills, planning your next step. The day feels normal, quiet. Then the cat appears. Maybe it's yours. Maybe it's the same visitor from the porch. And without hesitation, it hops onto your desk or curls into the corner of your workspace, right next to your notes, your thoughts, your effort, and sleeps, not lightly, not half alert, but deep, still, undisturbed. The kind of sleep only animals allow themselves when they feel completely safe. They don't flinch at noises. They don't track movement. They rest as if the room and you within it are exactly where peace lives. And that's when something clicks. You realize this moment, this quiet rhythm between your focus and their sleep feels different. Like the space has settled into something bigger than to-do lists and deadlines. Cats only sleep where energy is calm, where the atmosphere holds no tension, no static, no friction. So when one curls up beside your work, it's not just choosing a warm spot. It's responding to the frequency you're putting out. Your thoughts, your focus, your drive, it's all creating a hum, a current, and the cat is saying without words, this is good, keep going. This matters, because when your work is in alignment, when what you're doing reflects who you are, what you value, and the direction you truly want to go, energy flows, not just in spiritual terms, but in tangible ways. Ideas click, support arrives, progress unfolds more smoothly, and the presence of a resting animal near your workspace is often the quiet confirmation of that flow. It's not coincidence. It's not just cute. It's a sign. Maybe you've been doubting the path you're on. Maybe the world has told you it's impractical, too late, not realistic. But the cat disagrees. Its body, curled in sleep near your tools, your plans, your dream in motion, is a living mirror saying, this is a safe path. This space is fertile. Your effort is not wasted. And here's the deeper layer, sleep is the ultimate trust. It is surrender. So when a cat trusts your space enough to fully relax near your work, it's also modeling something for you, the ability to pursue your vision with calm, not chaos. To create not from stress, but from steadiness. This isn't just about creative work. It can be any task that holds your attention and matters to your future. Planning a business, writing a letter, fixing something in your home, sorting out finances, anything that moves you closer to clarity. Because when you engage your mind with purpose and your heart with openness, your environment shifts, and the cat, sensing that shift, steps in to rest in it, to bless it. So the next time this happens, don't shoo them away. Don't break the moment to tidy up or push them aside. Let them stay. Let their presence become part of the process. And if you want to deepen that energy, honor it, even try placing a small folded cloth in a clean corner of your desk. Light green or cream. Just a soft spot for them to return to. Not as a pet bed, but as an energy anchor. A quiet place where trust and progress meet. You might be surprised how often they return. And you might find that on those days, the days they choose to stay, your work flows just a little smoother. The answers come a little faster, and your heart, without fully knowing why, feels just a little more sure. Sign 6. It uses your yard as a litter box, then buries it. You step outside one morning and see it, your yard, your flower bed, maybe the corner of your garden, disturbed. The soil has been scratched, the surface uneven, and you know what it is. A cat was here, and it left something behind. Your first instinct is frustration, understandably so. No one likes the idea of an animal using their space as a bathroom, especially without permission. It feels invasive, messy, even disrespectful. But what if it's not? What if that cat's act, as inconvenient as it may seem, is something else entirely? Cats are instinctively clean creatures. They don't leave mess where they eat or sleep. They bury their waste because it's part of their natural rhythm, a way to neutralize scent, to reset energy. And when a cat chooses your yard, not just to pass through, but to relieve itself and cover it carefully with soil, that act becomes more than instinct. It becomes a ritual, a cleansing. In energy-based traditions, especially those tied to home and land, burying something, especially waste, is symbolic. It's the act of laying something to rest, putting it underground, returning it to the earth so it no longer hovers in your space. And when this happens in your yard, uninvited but precise, it can be interpreted as an invisible assist, a kind of spiritual maintenance happening without your direct request, especially if your home has recently felt heavy. Maybe after an argument, a stressful period, or the lingering presence of someone who left their energy behind long after they walked out your door. The cat's behavior here becomes meaningful. It didn't just go anywhere. It chose your yard, your corner, your soil, and it buried something there, something it perceived, consciously or not, as needing to be let go of, sealed away, placed under the surface where it could no longer affect the air, the mood, the atmosphere you live in. This doesn't excuse the mess. You can still clean it, you should. But what if you approach that cleanup not just as a chore, but as the closing act of something that's already been halfway handled for you? Imagine this: you sprinkle a little sea salt or white vinegar on the spot, not out of superstition, but as a way of saying, I see it, I acknowledge it, let this be finished. That small act turns a nuisance into a ritual, a frustration into a farewell. Think of all the things we try to bury metaphorically: hurt, fear, resentment, disappointment. We push them aside, pretend they're gone, but they hang in the air. And sometimes, without knowing it, our homes carry that weight. Our yards, these living spaces we often overlook, absorb it. And then along comes a cat, not to create a problem, but to give form to the clearing we didn't know how to start. It may sound strange, even uncomfortable, to see something so mundane through a different lens, but life is full of quiet gestures, hidden helps. And when we insist everything be clean, controlled, and explainable, we miss the magic that shows up in the realest places, in soil, in instinct, in the everyday act of letting something go. So the next time this happens, take a breath before you react. Clean what needs cleaning, but do it with a little awareness. A little gratitude, not toward the mess, but toward the message. Because if something was buried in your space, maybe it's a signal that something old has finally stopped following you. That a weight you've been carrying, even unknowingly, just found its way into the earth, covered, quieted, gone. Sign 7. It cries outside your home just before dawn. It's still dark. The world is quiet in that particular way it gets just before morning, a kind of stillness that feels deeper than sleep, and then you hear it. A cat, not your cat, not one you recognize, outside your window on the porch by the fence. Crying, not meowing, crying, long, drawn-out sounds that pull at something inside you. It's not a fight, not hunger, not a call to come in. It's a sound that lingers, echoes, unsettles, and you can't help but wonder, why here, why now? In Western routines, we're taught to shake off things like this. It's just a stray. Ignore it. It'll leave. And maybe it will, but that doesn't mean it didn't matter. Cats don't vocalize for no reason, especially not in the dead hours, twilight, midnight, dawn. These are the thresholds between states, between endings and beginnings, between what is and what might be. And for animals, especially ones tuned to energy, these are the hours when invisible shifts are most easily felt. So when a cat cries outside your home in those early moments before the day starts, it may be sensing something you haven't noticed yet. A disturbance, a leak, a heaviness gathering at your doorstep. Not because you did something wrong, but because something around you is stirring. Energy, like water, finds places to collect, and sometimes that place is you, your home. Your heart. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. That sound, raw, insistent, is a call to check your space. Is there tension in your home that hasn't been addressed? Have you been holding back anger, grief, or unease? Is there someone or something in your life pulling energy from you in ways you've stopped noticing? Maybe it's not even yours. Maybe you're carrying the stress, the weight, the worry of others. And the balance has quietly shifted from peace to pressure. The cat's cry isn't an accusation, it's a signal. Many energy traditions believe that these moments, when an animal vocalizes in a specific space at a specific time, serve as early warnings that something approaching your life is not aligned. Maybe it's a financial strain about to surface, a decision that needs double-checking, a conversation left unsaid that's been turning into something toxic. And the cry is not trying to scare you. It's trying to bring you back to stillness, to catch your attention before it becomes a consequence. So what can you do? You don't have to open the door. You don't have to chase the cat away. You don't even have to know exactly what the message is. But you can respond. Gently, quietly. You can sprinkle sea salt or white salt at your entrance, not as superstition, but as a physical way to reclaim the threshold. To remind your home it is protected. You can light a small candle the next morning, white, simple, and let it burn near the place the cry came from. You can take 3 breaths slowly and say, "Only what is good may stay, the rest may leave." Not because you're afraid, but because you're choosing presence, and that choice has power. Because we often ignore the quiet signs until they become loud ones, the dropped glass, the lost check, the misunderstanding that didn't have to happen, but the cat knew. And if you let yourself believe, even just a little, that these moments hold more than inconvenience, you might find yourself stepping into a kind of clarity you didn't know you needed. So the next time a cat cries outside your home, especially in the early hours when the world is barely waking, don't just cover your ears or turn up the noise. Listen, just for a moment, not to the sound, but to what stirred in you when you heard it, because that's often where the real message lies. Sign 8, it mates in your yard, you hear it before you see it. The cries, sharp, unfiltered, echoing through the night. Maybe you step outside, maybe you just listen from a cracked window, and there they are, 2 cats, tangled in instinct, in motion, in something that feels too wild for your quiet backyard. Your first reaction might be irritation. The noise, the timing, the awkwardness of it happening in your space. It feels invasive, a little messy, but stay with it. Because beneath the discomfort, there's something symbolic unfolding. Cats don't choose random places to connect. They seek out environments that feel safe, unthreatened, energetically open. When animals mate, especially in a space tied to your home, it's more than biology. It's a sign of energy shifting toward growth, toward new life. And when that moment plays out in your yard, it can mean that your living space, your emotional field, is quietly preparing for something new. A bond, a healing, a beginning. This might sound abstract, but think about where you are in your life. Are you feeling alone, even in a full house? Are your relationships strained, dulled by routine or distance? Have you closed yourself off from love, connection, intimacy, quietly without meaning to? The appearance of this act, so raw, so unapologetic, could be a mirror. A reminder that connection still seeks you even if you've forgotten how to reach for it. For someone single, this may be a subtle cue you're ready. Not just for romance, but for resonance, for someone whose presence feels like home, not performance. And they may arrive not with fireworks, but with familiarity, through a friend, a neighbor, a quiet moment that grows over time. For someone in a relationship, it may be a wake-up call. Love can fade, not with anger, but with neglect. The cats outside aren't being loud to disturb you. They're being loud because creation never whispers, and connection, when left unattended, needs noise to be noticed again. So what do you do with this moment? You don't need to chase them off. You don't have to moralize what you've seen, but you can receive it as a signal, as a strange blessing. The next morning, try this. Place a small bowl of water in your yard. Add flower petals, whatever you have, rose, jasmine, even wild ones from the sidewalk. Let that water sit for a day. It's not a spell. It's a gesture, a quiet agreement with the energy around you that says, I am open again to love, to softness, to the kind of intimacy that doesn't need to be explained. Because at its core, this sign isn't about cats, it's about readiness. And sometimes the most unexpected moments show up not to unsettle you, but to remind you that you've come far enough to start again. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need perfect timing. You just need a heart that's willing to open a little, one quiet morning at a time. So if it happens, if they choose your yard, don't just be annoyed, be curious. What in you might be reawakening? What longing have you set aside for too long? What door inside you is ready to unlock, not loudly, but gently, like the beginning of a season? Sign 9. It jumps onto your altar and nothing falls. Maybe it's your bookshelf. Maybe it's a small shelf with candles and a photo of someone you've loved and lost. Maybe it's a table in the corner where you keep things that feel meaningful. A folded note, a crystal, a Bible, a rock from your grandmother's garden. We all have a space like that. A place that holds memory, intention, spirit. And one day the cat, yours or a frequent guest, leaps up onto that space. Your breath catches. You freeze, expecting something to fall, something to break. You're ready to scold or rush over, but nothing happens. Not a single item is disturbed. Everything stays exactly where it belongs, and the cat, it settles. It doesn't knock things over. It doesn't paw at the objects. It simply rests there, still present, perfectly at ease. That moment, if you pause long enough to feel it, is not about coincidence. It's about alignment. Animals, especially cats, don't enter chaotic energy. They avoid unstable ground. So when a cat steps onto your altar, your sacred space, and nothing shakes or falls or clatters to the floor, that's more than grace. It's resonance. It means that space is balanced, that the energy held in it, your intentions, your prayers, your memories, is not only being honored but is strong enough to support visitation. That's rare. Think of all the things you hold close but doubt. Your belief in yourself, your silent hopes, the way you try every day to make your life more honest, more grounded, more whole. You might not say these things out loud. You might not tell anyone that this little corner of your home is sacred to you, but the cat knows. And in that small act, leaping into the center of what matters to you and leaving nothing disturbed, it's confirming something you've maybe been unsure of, that you're doing something right, that your space, your spirit, your energy are in harmony. Some say when a cat visits a sacred place and stays calm, it means something good is already on its way to you. Not a reward, but a ripple, a response. Maybe it's the resolution you've been hoping for, a call that changes your plans, a financial answer you didn't expect, or just a stretch of peace after a season of unrest. And maybe it's not coming because you wished for it, but because you're now ready to hold it. So what can you do? You don't need incense. You don't need ritual unless that feels natural to you, but you can acknowledge it, silently, a hand over your heart, a soft thank you into the air. You can take a few moments the next morning to wipe the space clean, not because it's dirty, but because something sacred visited and you want to mark that moment. Some traditions use ginger water, some use rosemary or basil, but all you really need is presence, intention. The same way the cat showed up, quietly without knocking and somehow completely sure it belonged there. Because that's the deeper message of this sign. Not just that something sacred touched your space, but that your space was ready to receive it. That you've done more inner work than you realize. That the things you've been holding, hoping, grieving, building are forming something solid now. Something that doesn't fall apart at the slightest movement. Something strong enough for even the softest steps. So if a cat jumps onto your sacred space and nothing falls, don't just smile and move on. Stop. Feel the stillness. Let it settle into your breath. And know deeply that whatever is coming next, you're already steady enough to hold it. So now maybe you're looking at cats a little differently. Maybe what seemed like random visits, strange gifts, or eerie glances begin to feel like quiet messages, not magical, not mystical, just deeply intuitive. Simple reminders that the energy in your life, your home, your thoughts, your heart is always speaking, always shifting, always inviting in the next version of you. And the cat, well, it just happens to notice first. You see, energy is not something you have to believe in to be shaped by. Just like gravity, it doesn't need your permission to do its work. But when you slow down enough to notice, to wonder, even just for a moment, why now, why here, why me? That's when awareness begins, and from awareness, everything opens. These 9 signs weren't just about cats, they were about you. They were about the patterns that emerge when something inside you is changing, when your home is becoming lighter, when your spirit is finally ready to stop surviving and start receiving. Receiving clarity, receiving peace, and yes, maybe even receiving wealth, not just in numbers, but in opportunities, in balance, in things that flow toward you instead of away. If a cat has crossed your path lately, maybe it's not just walking. Maybe it's pausing, checking, nudging, asking if you've noticed what's already shifting in your life beneath the noise. And if you have, if something in this video made you stop, breathe, or remember something you forgot to trust, then I hope you know that matters, because you matter. Thank you for spending this time with me, for choosing to listen not just to words, but to something softer, something quieter. You've given yourself a space to feel, and that's not small. Wherever you are right now, in a full house or an empty one, in a chapter that's blooming or one that's barely hanging on, I hope the signs find you. I hope peace finds you. I hope that when wealth arrives, it doesn't feel loud or rushed, but natural, gentle, like a cat curling beside you while you work, asking for nothing and somehow giving you everything. Until next time, be well, stay open, and may everything good find its way quietly to your door.